At first we only have this. Using these two directives include iostream, using namespace std integer main return 0. So we always start from the scratch. Okay, we have this one. Then what we will do, we will basically write what is the name of our function. So we have a class called employee, and as we can see from the problem statement, and we have some private variables and some functions. So we will start by writing the name of the class. So we have a class named employee. Let's name it employee. Okay, then in the employee function we will create some private variables. So let's name the let's a, b, c, and so on. And then we will create a public functions. So we will have the public functions that will apply the member functions. Like we had the member functions were like void set salary, double salary, and overloaded functions. And then in this main function, what we will do, we'll create an object of employee class. So employee, let's name it e. And then for the e, we will set the salary. We will create set the id, name, and so on. So this is the basic structure. Okay, so basically we start with this. You see, these are the variables of class employee. Id is string, integer basic, integer age, and then integer total salary. And then we create the set function. It takes the id, it takes the name, and takes the age. Then the double salary function, okay, in the by the I am following the problem definition where we set the total salary, okay, using 40% of the basic and so on. So let's assume that you want to create a, we have three types of employee, like permanent, temporary, and provisional employee. That what is a provisional employee? That you have hired someone, but they are still not permanent. Okay, you are actually testing them. Like you have to work for 2 months, and after that you will be permanent. That almost like that. So for the permanent employee first, okay, let's pass the salary. All you have to do is pass the salary. Let's give it another name. Let's give it x. Okay, so after you pass x, it will automatically assign. So let's assume basic equals to x. This is the first part. Then what it will do, it will start with like this. So to calculate the total salary, what it will do, it will include x plus, then we see that in the basic salary we have 40% of the house rent. So x into 0.40, this will calculate 40%, x into point, how much was the how, 10%, that is medical. So instead of writing 10%, I am writing x into 0.10, x into 0.05. So all this, okay, you can give a bracket that so that it becomes easier for you. Okay, like this. But if you don't even give a bracket, it's not that problematic, because programming languages follow a structure just like the simplifications math that you did. So then it will calculate the total salary. So your task is done here. Okay, then you will write another function, okay, that will set the salary for the provisional employees. So like if I have a provisional employee, okay, then let's write the function again double. But in the next case, as you can see, that we have to take two things. Okay, so let's make it amount. Okay, instead of writing x, let's replace it with amount. I think it will be easier for you to understand. Amount, amount, Okay, so now let's name it amount as well. But for a provisional employee, it's not only about, it will include commission. Now the definitions here is not permanent, okay, is not fixed from program to program. Okay, this definition of how the salary will be given will be different, so you don't have to worry about that. You, all you have to do is follow the function structure. So in case of provisional employee, we don't actually provide with the amount is still there, but in the total salary we don't provide with the house rent, okay, or the medical or so on. So what we do for the provisional employee, we start with the amount and he gets commission on any, on the work he does. So like if his commission amount is 15%, so you will get amount into commission was okay. Okay, so that's the difference. Okay, sorry, the is spelling mistake, commission. So if your commission is 10%, you will get amount to 10% as your salary. So this is the second case. And the third case, again, you will create the same salary function. Okay. And in the third case, as you are a part-time employee, in that case, you will have, you will be paid hourly. So like for 1 hour of work, you will have a payment. Okay. So basically it will say double, instead of, it will start with, by the problem definition, it will start the double rate. So like what is the hourly payment, then it will start with like how many hours have you worked, and it will go on like how many days have you worked. So your salary will be the basic salary. Okay, there is no basic salary. Okay, so basic salary is set to, let's assume 0. Your basic salary is 0, or you can just ignore it, the basic salary. And the total salary will be, the total salary will be rate into hours into days. So like rate, then hours, then days. So everyone completed up to this, or is there any confusion like, sir, why did you write this function or this function? So let me go through the code once more, and then you can if you have any confusion, let me know. Again, what I did in the private section, I have declared 5 variables. Okay, in id is integer, basic salary is also integer, age is also integer. Okay, but the total salary is double. Why? Because when we are calculating the total salary, sometimes the result might, whenever we're multiplying 0.40, it might be a decimal number. That's why we can use float or double. Then we are using this set data function to set the employee's name, id, and age. Okay, then we are using this salary function, okay, to set this salary of 3 types of employees. So I think we're clear so far. Now let's go to the main function. Okay, so what we have to do in the main function, we have to create a menu, okay, that will actually start our program. So first, again, let us start how to create a menu. So we can use just normal printf. Okay, so we can use the console output just like the way we have used here. So let's assume the use console output, and then we will set like this, that press 1 to 5 for accessing menu. Now here's the thing. So if we just write simple console output, okay, it will only be printed once, but we want the program to go on for like multiple times, right? So press 1. Okay, let's first write the basic structure. 25 for accessing the menu. Okay, sorry, spelling mistake. This is the first part of the, then I can write endl. Now the second part comes that in the menu what we will have, okay, we'll have this 5 options. Okay, so let me write the 5 options as well. The first line will be that press 1 to set information, press 2, press 3, press 2. What is the reason for press 2? Yeah, salary permanent employee. Now if we press 3 for salary, provisional employee, then what we have after, then press 4 and press 5. So press 4 and press 5. Press 4 will set part-time, or what is the word, temporary, sorry, temporary, and press 5 to exit. Now depending on what you press, okay, for now we will do it for one instance. Our object will be created. Okay, let's name the object. What is our class name? Our class name is employee. So let's name the object employee E. Okay, for now we are only using one object. Now for each of the for the employees, if you press one of the buttons, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, what will happen, object will be created and we can get to do some function. But before that, let's see that whether this menu is printed or not. Yeah, okay, there's a error. Let me check, what is it?
So use semicolon.
Where did I miss semicolon?
Sir, after finishing the class, you have to use semicolon.
Oh, sorry, after the class I was checking in between the code. So you see the menu is printed. So 1 to 5 for accessing menu. Now let's get to work. Now the question is, what is the next step? We have declared the class, we have declared the functions. Okay, this is the where the most people face the problem, that sir, okay, I have declared the class, I have declared the functions, okay, I have declared everything. Okay, what is the next step? Anyone any idea, like what should we do next?
So you should use a switch and call the function.
Yes, but okay, let's do that. Okay, so we will use a switch or if statement. Let's for now use a if statement. Okay, so we first have to take input, right? Like whether you are giving 1, 2 or 3. So let's create an integer. Okay, so like let's name the integer choice ch, just like the way in the switch statement. Then integer ch, it will be taken input, and after that, okay, if or switch, whatever you want to use, ch double equal 1, then we will like 1 means set information, right? So we will call the function set function. Okay, let me write it down. Yeah, so else if, and so on. So like choice equals to 2, we'll call another function, 3 will be called 4, and if it's 5, we will go for the return 0. Means the program will end. Any questions so far? I'm doing it step by step. So we have, let's now write down the function. So if choice equals to 1, which function will call? E dot will call, you see you have this option, salary double and set data. So obviously we know we'll call the set data function, right? Then if choice equals to 2, we'll also call the salary function. So E dot, now question is which salary function should I call? because we have the three salary function with the same name. So how will I understand which one I'm calling? The answer is you don't have to. Okay, what you can do, okay, you can just here, you can what, just add one more line, okay, to remove the confusion. Okay, so what you can do, you can write enter the amount, and then you can take the amount as input, and then you can do the rest. So let me show how to do, how it can be done. So let me format the code first. So here's a semicolon. Okay, now let's go to the second part. So whenever it's a permanent or provision or temporary employee, okay, first what you have to do, you have to enter the amount. So we can take the console output, enter the amount. After the amount is given, see in, let's assume the amount is, let's declare variable integer amount. Okay, so let's assume the amount is given. Okay, and after he provides the amount, what we will do, will e dot, okay, salary function, any salary function, and we will actually pass the amount. Done. That's it. Okay, now if I copy the code, okay, this code, okay, sorry, I cut it. Okay, what's happening? I'm copying the code. Yeah, it's working now. So again, enter the amount. Okay, then in this case, as this is a provisional employee, so entering the amount is not enough. Okay, what you have to do, you have to add another value, that is enter the commission. So let's start with enter the, after entering the amount, it will say enter the commission. Okay, so sorry, spelling mistake again. Okay, what's wait, yeah, it was two parameters, so this should work. So integer, let's name it commi, so amount is entered, commission, so commission will be entered as well. Now in this, what we will do, we'll pass these two parameters, amount comma commission. Done. Okay, in same way, let me copy the code again, integer 4, and instead of copying the amount, we'll have integer, okay, what was the parameter, let me check. It was rate, double hours, integer days. Now as you can see, the amount was given here double, but I have declared this as a integer. Will that be a problem? The answer is no, because in C++ we have automatic type conversion. But for now, let's follow the code. Let's make it double. Just to, okay. In that case, there will be no more confusion. But sir, why did you create double integer when we have created, it was given to be a double? Then let's give it this one double as well. So now there's no confusion. So let me, now the next one is double rate, double hours, and integer days. So here we will say enter the hours, enter the rate, and all of them will be double. And I have declared the variables, and separately you can declare the variable at the same time. There's no difference. You can declare three variables at the same time. Okay, so enter the hours, so it will be hours. So the hours is done. Enter the rate, so it will be rate. Done. And then there will be another one, that is enter the days. And days, as you can see, it will be integer, because date can enter the day. uh, integer days, and finally we'll have days. So here we will pass this three. So we'll say hours. First one is hours. Let us see the serial, because as we have seen, the order also is important. So rate, hours, days. So first it will be rate, then hours, then days. So now let me format the code. You see it's already going over 100 lines. Okay. And finally, if we press 5, it's again return 0. Now let us run the code. So any questions so far, sir? Why you have written this line of code? I have breakdown step by step, so I think it should not be a problem. So set salary, first called with only amount, then called with amount commission, and then rate hours. Now let us run the program and see what happens. So here we have this program with one set information. So if we press 1, it enter ID. So let us enter the ID 1, enter name, let's name it A, then enter age, let's name it 10. The program stops. Why? Because the program stops because there's no loop. Okay, after executing all this once, the program will automatically stop. Now what I can do to make the program keep going on forever, I can use a while loop. Okay, I can just write like this. Okay, while loop, and I can write 1 here, so the program will keep going on forever. Okay, so just a minute. Okay, so as I was saying, so you can just write a while loop for now. Okay, and let's make sure the while loop covers all the options. Okay, so now if you set it like this, what will happen? The program will keep going on like forever. So let's format the code and run it again. And let's see what happens. All I did make one change. Okay, add a while loop. So now let's set information. So if I set information, okay, so ID, let's give it 1, name, let's give it Sakib, my name, then age, let's name it 25. Okay, so now you see the it's coming again. So then we might now have to make some changes. Okay, let's go here and make a change so that after coming it again. Okay, so let's make another line, and just console output this. Okay, so why I did this, if you see the run the program, so let's say 1, ID is less 1, person A, age 10. Okay, now again you see all the informations are coming. Now we should have that, you should understand whenever you're writing a program like this, okay, to check whether the data was set properly, we should have a function that we called uh, get function. So you see here it was not mentioned. If you see, it was not mentioned in here anywhere about the get function, but now you can understand that we also need a get function. So what we will do, we'll create another function. Okay, here, even though it's not mentioned, okay, we'll create another function here. So like for press 6, we will give exit, and press 5, okay, we will see get data. So it will print all the informations. Okay, so for here, if you press 5, press 6, it will exit from the program, and if you press 5, it will call a function that is called e.get data. Now I obviously haven't written the function yet. Okay, so let's try to write the function. So now get data function will obviously be here, right? As you can understand, this is almost like set data function. Let's write them together, then the get data function. So what is the difference between set data and get data? In the set data, we assign the values. In the get data, we'll just print them. So here, instead of writing enter ID, you will write employee. Okay, now employee ID, then we will go like this. Okay, I can follow the same structure. If it's just a second, just writing in scene, you will write console output Okay, why this? Okay, sorry, my keyboard is acting funny. I have to get a new keyboard. Okay, anyway, so just change the basic structure of it. Console output. Now here we have only printed 3, but we want to print other informations as well, like console output. Here we have 2 other information, that is basic salary, and this will be like basic, and we have total salary. Yes, and here you have okay, let me see the name of the parameter for total salary. Yeah, just total salary. So I have written a function that's named get data even though it was not there. Okay, and let me use a endl after each line, so it will create a new line so we can understand that okay, this is where the program ends, right? So let me just copy the endl. Mm, mm, copy it here as well. I'm not sure whether it should work. Okay, let me run the program. Yeah, so like first we have the set information, so let's set information id 1 person abc and age 10. Now again it asks for us that this, so let's check whether the information is set. So let's call the function 5 get data. So you see in the enter age, okay, employee id 1. Okay, why is showing enter name? Oh sorry, my bad, let me change the code. So it will be name, employee name, then it will be employee age, employee salary. Okay, name, id, name, age. Okay, it should work. So 1 abc, age is 10. So let's call 5. So employee id is 1, employee name, you see the name is not printed, so we have to fix that. The basic salary is printed a garbage value, as you can see, and the total salary is also a garbage value. And that's what happens when you don't use a constructor. So if we had a constructor, we could set them to 0. Now I'm coming back to the name, why it's not being printed. But before that, you see the problem with the basic and total salary. It's actually not printing, and sorry, it's printing garbage values. Okay, even though we have like the nothing given. Okay, so now let's forget about the name. We'll come to that later. Let's assume that we can solve the rest. Okay, we don't want to print the name. So let's console output this one. Okay, why this is okay. Now, let us check the other functions, whether we can set the salary or not. So one set information, ID1, name ABC, and then age 10. Now let's check. So you see, employee ID and age is printed perfectly, basic salary, and these are garbage value. Now let's go set permanent salary. Okay, press 2. So what is the amount? Let's assume the amount is 1,100 taka. Okay, it will be easy to calculate. So you see, done, nothing is taken. Now let's go again, print the information, get data. Now you see, employee id 1, employee age 10, basic salary 100, total salary 155. So everything is set properly. Now let's want to see that I want to make this employee provisional employee. So again, let's change another id 2, name a b c d, let's age 5. Now, as you can see, if the employee ID is 2, employee age is 5, if the basic salary is 100, the total salary is 1,100. Why? Because I was using the provisional employee. So I have entered the commission. And if you have 10% commission, okay, this is what you will get. Now the question is it correct? If I use 10% commission, should I get this amount of money? Obviously not, right? So let me say, check whether I have made a mistake. So it should be commission not multiplied with this. It should be commission 10% of the commission. So commission is a variable that should be multiplied with 0.001. So this is where the mistakes were made. So commission is like point value, right? So what I have to do, I have to multiply with 0.10 or 0.20. Like if my commission is 15%, in that case I have to multiply with 0.15. But here I cannot use point in front of the commission name. So what I can do, I can divide the result with 100. It will solve the problem. So I can use it in the same line, but for now I am using different line so that you can understand easily. But whenever you are writing the code, just divide by 100. Okay. In this way your result will be okay. So let's now try it one more time. Enter id, let's assume 3. Now I will set it for the okay listens Sakib. Okay, now provisional employee, right? We have, so provisional employee will start with 3. So amount is 100 and commission is 10. Now let's check. See, now it's printing 11. So dividing by 100 didn't also solve the problem. So what we can do, this is the second thing. Okay, now this is not that much complicated. Okay, so just think about it. So what we can do that will solve the problem. The answer is given, okay, but don't look at it. The answer is given in the book already. So third, okay, let's go to the third. Let's see whether you have the problem. So in the third one, let's set the parameter again. So 4, we will use temporary. So we have to integer hour, 5 hour per day, rate is 5. Okay, 5. So it will be multiplied. And if I press get data, the total basic salary is 0, but the total salary is 125. So I hope you get the gist of it, that what we are doing. We have broken down a program, okay, depending on given the okay, now I'll come back to this one. So let me finish first. So what we did, given there was a problem definition, okay, we have actually solved the program. We have first set the private variables, we have then set function, we have added the get function. Even though the get function was not there, we have added the get function. We use the basic permanent employee. Then for the part-time employee, we have also added. Okay, now then what we did, okay, uh, for the we use this function overloading, and even though all the names are same of the function, okay, we actually had different amount of results. Then we used a while loop to make sure the program keeps running on forever. Okay, and then we used, so this is a mini project. Okay, and I think all of you can do it as well. So your today's task is this, that you have to finish the mini project and you have to submit it